condoms. Oh. Yeah, that's what I
All right, this is mine.
Reproductive condom and the male or insertive condom is simply...
Remix is a youth sexual health and development program for young people in middle school and high school. The MIX and Remix stands for Maximize Your Strength, Imagine Your Future, and Explore Your Identities. And throughout our program, we encourage the young people in our class to do just that.
Fun fact, how many eggs are in someone with vagina's ovary, give or take?
400.
800.
So 500 is too low.
5,500.
Too low.
30,000.
30,000. We have a winner. On average, if someone has a vagina and they're born with these parts,
We have a peer educator and a health educator inside the classroom. So the peer educator is acting as the person who's not much older than the students that we present the curriculum to. And so we're able to share how we became a teen parent and ultimately how we overcame the obstacles that we faced with becoming a teen parent.
So let's say I come up to me and say, hey, I have this really cool drug, it's new or whatever, and it's incredibly safe, and you should try it. So what's her first step on saying no to me? Say no. Okay, say no firmly.
No.
No, so you have to say it with confidence, right?
No.
No.
The health educator is there to basically give you the medically accurate information. And also we work together to see, hey, you're good at this, let's see how you can apply this. So you're good at that, let's see how you can apply that. So we work as a team inside the classroom.
We're not just your typical sexual health program where we're just talking about anatomy or how to prevent a pregnancy or what birth control is. We also talk about how to communicate with a partner, how to negotiate contraceptive use, what is the characteristics of a healthy relationship or an unhealthy relationship, how to plan for your future, what life changes will happen if you become a parent. So we try to cover a lot of different topics that are all implicit in young people's health.
So we want to make sure that you guys are knowing exactly how to use a condom, how to purchase the condom, what you're supposed to do when you're done using the condom. We're going to give you some cards. So we want you to put them in order how you feel they should go. Daniel. Let's bring it back in, guys. We'll start with this side.
So our first one is to purchase or get free condoms, and then make sure that the condom package is not damaged and to check the expiration date. Place the condoms nearby and keep them easily accessible.
I like the Remix program a lot because I like the stuff they're teaching us, like sex and about the parts of our body and how we're supposed to use them. They tell me this stuff in like kind of a fun way that I need to know, and like it's not like awkward whenever they tell us.
So what are some unfair gender messages that you see on that poster?
That women should have long hair.
Long hair. Why do you think that's harmful to women?
Because not everybody likes having long hair.
You go in there and you're starting out with what gender is, and you're starting out with healthy relationships, and then you're sharing your story. You see these kids get intrigued. You see them ask more questions. You see them really reflecting. I remember looking on Facebook and Instagram and seeing my friends graduate college. They went hiking in Washington. They were going on cruises, and they were doing all these wonderful things. And what I was doing was I was in an empty apartment, and I was trying to figure out how I was gonna get groceries for the next week because I couldn't work. I just had a baby. I didn't have any money. And every night I thought to myself, what could I have done differently? So these next 10 weeks, I'm gonna talk to you guys about how I got from this point of an empty apartment and an abusive relationship, being a single mom, to where I am now. And you're gonna take all these things that you learn that we're gonna talk about that I've applied personally in my life, and that hopefully one day you can utilize in yours.
What we're trying to do is really break down the stigma that society has for young parents and start to look at them as leaders and role models amongst their peers. And that's why we're putting them inside the classroom and saying, look, I've been through this and I have these experiences. You know, I'm proud of myself because I can break out of that negative perception of who I am and become a leader in my community.
I never would have thought that I would have been able to go inside the classroom and perform the way that I performed, but they seen something inside of me that I didn't notice I had, and it's been brought to the forefront now.
There's this professional development outside of the classroom that the program works with the peer educators on. So we have resume building workshops, we have financial literacy workshops, outreach, days if we want to go out and volunteer. So they're really trying to build us up outside of the program to be professionals.
So actually now go ahead and, okay, the dollar signs, this is what we were going to touch on with this running tool.
The trainings are really fun. It's a time that not only the whole team, but all the peer educators get to sit together and kind of catch up with how our classes have been going and things that maybe need to be adjusted in the curriculum. And we kind of go over a little bit of everything.
And the fun facts, I think it's a cool way to get to know the kids. Then the big reveal is you building it up. So it's kind of like, you're here and then we're gonna work our way up and it's like, boom, big reveal to them. I'm more confident than what I was when I first started. I'm more passionate about making sure the teens and the youth have their own voice and their voices are heard.
One thing I've noticed the most is the amount of confidence my students have in responding to a question or responding to some sort of situation around them. It's very positive and encouraging to me to see my students actually engage, being quiet when they need to, and actively listening. So now I just like seeing them learn.
What is the cost of living for a single parent, one child per month? How much money do they need to make to pay for rent, pay for daycare, pay for every food and other life essentials? Our friend at $3,120 was very close. The average cost per living is $3,490 for a parent and one child.
About $3,500.
About $3,500.
I already see myself raising my children different because of the Remix program. I see myself identifying stereotypes. It affects me and the way of being a mother by making me better, by making me more aware and knowledgeable.
These kids are lucky. They get to, learn from our mistakes and from things that we didn't learn. So they're getting everything right now. They're getting the best of the education that they could get.
What we want you to think about for this activity is one way that you either have learned to maximize your strengths, one way that you've learned to imagine a healthy future, and one way that you've learned to explore your identity. She's going to hold on to the yarn with one hand, say her mix, and then she's going to toss it to someone else. And then that person is going to need to say their mix.
I believe that I have helped you guys maximize your strengths in learning almost everything you need to know about your health, about making healthy decisions, having a healthy relationship.
I learned that there's ways to deal with having an unplanned pregnancy.
I have all of that.
I think the pros and cons of being a teen parent. Yeah.
It's always best to use protection because you could live your future better.
That it's okay to be confident when you say no, especially if the other person really wants to. It's okay to be confident.
Nice. I love using those ways to say no. That is absolutely.
What they're teaching us is gonna help me make my decisions in the future and know what to expect whenever you in that position.
For the positive encouragement. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Take care.